Yes, we're going to go deeper into this today, because I realized that two more points that I want to go over. Yep. So we have so we talk about the enlightenment, yeah, and that being the number of times that you have the enlightenment. That's the quality of your life, because that helps you to then have that deeper understanding and then to transform. And then we talk about contemplation, which is repeated over time, yeah, which is your questions being repeated over time. And with your questions, we have positive and negative, and that is desired, depends on your desired outcome. And so your question direct the result of your life, yeah, according to this model here. So we have the question directing your enlightenment, and therefore how you change to fit, yeah, whatever that you want in your life. So then we have so now this, so then so it doesn't matter where you begin, yeah, it doesn't matter where you begin. Say, for example, if you were, say, to articulate this point, say we can start at the same place. So say the same wives, yeah, to say two wives, the same situation, husband came home late, for example, and during the whole day you might have a crying baby on your hands. So both wives, you have the same situation, but the question that they have will direct the outcome of their life. So say, for example, the first one may say, he comes home late all the time. Doesn't he care about me? Or don't I matter to him? Yeah. So that would be the question. And the second wife might say, my husband comes late all the time. How can I help him to see that I appreciate him coming home early? Do you see that we're going for the same result, which is, we want him to come home, but because of our question. So the first one, how doesn't he care about me? Yeah. And the second wife, how can I get him to understand I appreciate him coming home early? Do you think that the outcome will be very different? Or do you think they might be the same?
It's definitely different, because like I said before, it's the energy that come with it.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about me. So he's always coming home late. He doesn't care about me. Already you're in the very low energy.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And then when you walked in and you hit him with a bang, it's just like, hey, you're accusing me. You don't appreciate what I've gone through. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because from that you'll be looking to blame, yeah, and you're hurt, and so you will hurt the other person, yeah. And so with the second wife, then it's like, how do I show him that I appreciate him coming home early? What is she focusing on based on that question?
Showing him that she's very happy when he's home.
No, to show him that I appreciate you, yeah, to
Hey,
show
you're home.
him.
Yeah.
Exactly. She's going to look for the things, yeah.
Yeah, thanks God you're home.
Yeah. And when you're home, you help me with this and with this and with this. It's so good when you do this. How do you think the man will feel?
Yeah, take this crying baby away from me.
Exactly. He will say, all right, I'll take him for you. Yeah, because when you're home, you help me with whatever, with Will, I mean, with the baby, with the house. You can take care of the house. I can take care of my baby. Things like that. Yeah. So then in the end, which wife do you think will have the husband coming home more often or earlier?
Second one.
Exactly. It's so obvious. I know it's an obvious question, but it's to point out, you see how your question really does affect the outcome of your life. And now let's bring it to our kids. Do you have a question that might be, and look, we might not have time to go deeper, because I just want to bring this point in, is that it doesn't matter the starting point. So that means it doesn't matter where you are right now. wherever you are right now in your situation of life, it doesn't matter. It matters how you phrase your questions. What do you want? What is your desired outcome? Say in your, and with this one, it's very simple. If you look at the house that we, yeah. So are you familiar with the house? Can I just say what's on the house? The 4 walls. So your health. So you have your, yes, health, finance, relationship, inner world. That's it. What are your desired outcome in those 4 areas? Your relationship, is it this one? Relationship with husband, relationship with son, relationship with daughter, relationship with people at work. What are your desired outcome? Well, you don't have to have for all of them. If you're all going, if things are flowing well and not in your priority, don't worry. Just choose one that's in your priority. Is it your relationship with your son? Focus on that. What is it that you want with him? Do you want to have whatever that is that you want? And it's not controlling. Yeah. Have a beautiful outcome that will now direct your questions. Yeah. And then you will see, because you can see how quick it affects your life from here. And then you think about it over and over. Yeah, you think about it over and over, and you will find ways, which leads me to the next theory today. But let me check. Just give me a moment to check that. There's one more point. Yeah, one more point, which is how deep your questions are, is how fast you get to the outcome of your life. Yeah, so it depends. And on this journey, in these 21 days, we're looking for the root of things. So then you might want to use what's in the in the house, how to have those things in the light, as in the light, or how to using the walls outside and the roof and the foundation to help you to phrase your questions. Yeah. Okay, so that is. Are there any questions regarding this theory before we move on to the next theory? Yeah, we're all cool. We're all cool to move on. Good. All right. So now this next theory is, I'd love you to draw these 2. So it's a page. I just divide by 2, and they are exactly the same. There are 4 circles. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you draw it like an egg sideways like this, so you can write in here. They're supposed to be circles, but they're not, so that you can fit. They're like ovals, so you can fit. What's going on with? Just gonna pause. Okay, so how are we going? Draw those, and then in the middle, let's choose one that is us. Choose the top one. Let's use the top one for us, yeah? And we have the knowledge that we are aware of. So we only can know what we know, yeah? Aware knowledge. I'm going to write here. So expert says that we only know what we know. We can only know what we know. Draw this circle around it. And then the next circle, the next layer is forgotten knowledge. So we knew, but we've forgotten. This is like what you've learned at school. Maths, for example. Do you still remember those? Would you say confidently that you can still remember the maths that you learned at school?
Not a thing.
And
I can't even teach my kids now.
That sounds very confident. A confident, not a thing. Yeah. Even if you were really good at it. Yeah. Even if you were like, you got A's for them, you still cannot remember. Yeah. Because they're not relevant. Yeah. They're no longer relevant, not important anymore because you don't use it a lot. So then you have forgotten knowledge. And then we have aware no knowledge. Now we know that there are things that we don't know. Yeah, we are aware that there are things we don't know. Can you give me an example? What is it that you know that you don't know?
I used to be able to understand Cantonese
Oh, wow.
and speak a bit too, but I lost it.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah.
That is what you forgot. Yeah, that would
Yeah.
be forgotten knowledge. We're talking about now. So each circle gets bigger. We know very little, and then what we forget is more than what we know that we know. Yeah. And here is we know that we don't know. This one is we know that we don't know. We are aware that we don't know. So what is it that what would be an example of this? Is
For
like,
me, will be swimming.
yeah, swimming. You know that you don't know how to swim.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You know that you don't know how to fly a plane. You know that there's so many things we don't know. Yeah, there are so many things we don't know. Yeah, and how come we still don't know? It's because it's not important to us in our life right now. Right. So then there is a funny story. You know, there's a old couple, and 90 something, and people say, oh, you know, you're so romantic, you still call each other babe and doll and sweetheart, and you know, all that. That's so beautiful. And the man says, well, you know, I don't know when, but I've forgotten her name. It's the easiest way is to call them babe and doll and sweetheart, because it's and I won't get it wrong. So that's just a funny story to say that, you know, we forget even that. Yeah, we forget. So that's in here. Okay, so then the biggest circle, which has it shouldn't have a boundary, but we just draw it so that we know that there's 4. What's this one?
Not aware of no knowledge.
Exactly. Unaware that we don't know. We don't even know that we don't know. And because we don't know, unaware. Yeah. There's no examples because we are unaware. Yeah, unaware. No knowledge. Yeah, we have no awareness of it. So then that's not it. So then that means for another person, it is exactly the same. Yeah, so let's draw the same for another person. This is it. I'm using a different color. So again, they would have aware knowledge. They would know what they know. And that's all they can know. Yeah, they can only know what they know. So sometimes, do we get frustrated when our kids don't know what we're talking about? But they can only know what they know as the same. And the same goes with us. We don't know what they know. Yeah. So aware knowledge. And then there are things that they've forgotten. So we can tell them and they forget. Forgotten. Yeah. Knowledge. Why do they forget? It's not important to them. It's not relevant. They don't see the relevance. Yeah. The same as us. Why do we forget maths? Has no use in our life. That's why we don't use it, and therefore we don't remember. And then the third knowledge, aware no knowledge. There are things that they are aware they don't know. Yeah, so we're referring to our kids here. Aware that they don't know. Aware no knowledge. They are aware that they don't know. What do you think our kids are aware that they don't know?
They don't know how to drive.
Yes.
I'm teaching Kaylin driving at the moment.
And is she aware of something that she wasn't aware of?
Well, she was behind a wheel the first time yesterday, so yeah. There's a lot that she didn't know.
Yeah. Unaware, no
Mm.
knowledge. There we are. So they also have that. Now, this is to show that we all have the same amount of knowledge, in that it's only within our limits in here. And then what we have forgotten is more than what we know. And it just gets more and more. Yeah. And so let me check. Yeah. So when we want to share our knowledge with people, yeah. So say you want to like teaching Caitlin driving, for example, yeah. So this is Caitlin. You want to share what you with another. If you were to start where you know, yeah, do you think that, or just generally, so say just for us, yeah, do you think that sometimes, so what someone shares with you, that sometimes it could land in here, and sometimes it could land in here, and sometimes it could land in your aware no knowledge, and sometimes it could land in your unaware no knowledge?
Just like when someone talking footy.
Yeah, it would be in your, which one? Aware no knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah. And will you pay attention?
Not really.
Not
No.
really, right? When it's not from what you know. That's right. So when someone talks, it could be out there. And the same with us, as sometimes we talk, yeah, we share, it could be somewhere out here. So that's not a good place to start. So where do we start? Yeah, experts say that we can only start to share, say if you were to share with another person, with your daughter, then you would want to start. If we start from where we are, it could end up in their unaware no knowledge. Then they would not pay attention. So when we start not from where we know. If we start from where we know, we will lose them. The chance is too large. Yeah, it's like how many percent? 60. What is it? Divide by 4. 75% of not having their attention. So what you do, we start from where they are. We must start from where they know. We start from there, from where they are. Yeah. So when we're sharing or when we're talking with someone and we want them to understand, we start from where they are, not from where we are. So I'm going to write up here is me. This is me. And this is the other. Yeah, that's me and that's other. So we start here, and then because we find out where they are, we can then move them to what they have forgotten, and then back to where they know. Because when you move to what they've forgotten, you've reminded them. Now it's in their awareness. Are you with me?
No.
So you start from where they are. Yeah, you start from where they are. You start from, say, footy. Yeah, then you start with the word footy with someone who knows footy. Yeah, so you start from where they are. You find out something about what they know. You start from where they are. Then you take them out. You talk, so you lead from where they know to something that they have forgotten. To remind them. Once you remind them, now it's in their awareness of their knowledge. Are you with me?
How do you know that what they've forgotten, what they know and but forgotten?
From where they are. So because you know where they are, you start from where they are. You don't start from where you are. You can't just start in and footy. You've got to start with where they are. So say, for example, do you watch footy? Do you know anything about footy? And I say, well, my husband watches footy, but I don't know anything about footy. So then you can start sharing with me, oh, okay, so would you like to know? First, you got to check that I want to know. And so I'm like, yeah, okay, tell me. And so you start to tell me about the game from last Saturday. But if you, so say, for example, the team won significantly and it's fantastic. And I want to understand it if you start sharing that with me, yeah. So you have to take me out into, okay. So when you're, who does your house, what does he follow? So he follows a team. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm aware of that team. Oh, okay. So on the weekend they played so they played another team. Do you know that team? Oh no, I don't know that team. Well, you know Sydney? Yeah, so Sydney has a team. Yeah, it's called the Sydney Swans. Are you with me? So then, oh yeah, I remember them. So I start to remember a little bit of, oh yeah, they're like red and white. Yeah, that's right. Are you with me? You remind me a little bit and you help me to connect to that which I've forgotten about them. And now that becomes in my awareness. And then from that, you take them out to what I don't know yet. Yeah, aware, no knowledge. Or do you know that they have that? They play that. And last night, so they played each other. Because, oh, okay, well, that's interesting. And they're a really great team. And so you can you talk with the person, always checking in with that person, and then you take them out to what they don't know and bring it into, and now when you go out to give them that, you haven't lost the train. Now that new knowledge out there that they were unaware of now becomes their knowledge. Now it's in their aware knowledge. And why do we need to know this? In a moment, we'll find out. Yeah, but that's the way to share with someone. So the same with you, say you are, so how do we do that? It is by asking. Yeah, remember the bridge I drew last time, by asking. And how do we ask? We ask with sincerity, yeah, and humility. Can you see why sincerity and humility need to be in place when you are asking? You ask. Because does anyone, I think you're busy writing. Yeah, so you need to have humility and sincerity. So if they ask me, do you know anything about footy? Yeah, he will not know what I know about footy because I don't want to engage with someone who already thinks that I don't know anything. He thinks they're better than me. So sincerity and humility to show, and so vice versa. If you want to learn from someone, yeah, then we need to have both of these, yeah, through our asking. So when we have yet, this is why we need to know this. So when we have yet to have the outcome of our life, the result that we want in our life, it is because we don't know enough of that thing that we want. Yeah, because we don't know enough of that thing that we want. So if we want to know, that it's important that we know this theory. Okay. Do you want time to sit with that? Yeah, so if we haven't got what we want yet, it's because we don't know enough about that thing. Because if we know enough about that thing, okay, so this next thing, this next slide will help us to understand this part better. So we ask, Oh yeah, so that's why the next one I have is this one. Let's so what is it that we need? So when we talk to someone, and we don't know what they're on about and we are confused, there's only three things about what any knowledge is about. Yeah, all knowledge is about these three things. One is covering my head. Okay. And if we don't know it, it's because we don't have this understanding, the understanding of mankind, of human, of the human. Oh, why? Okay, I'm gonna write another. It's because we don't have enough understanding of so all knowledge of the world is evolved around, it's either the human, so understandings about the human, or understandings about, what do you think? Apart from the human, what else do we have? The world, and then understandings of the cosmic. And so what are these? Yeah, the human is, of course, is about the person. So I'm going to write here person. Yeah, the human is about the person, and that's what we are trying to understand, the inner world of the person. Oh, look, can't spell person. And then the world is, of course, all that. Yeah, so it's away from the human. Anything away from the human, right here. It's anything that's away from the human. From human, but of this world. Yeah, and but of this world. Yeah, of this world, and is visible to us. Yeah, and is visible to us. And the cosmic is, of course, it's out of this world, and it's out of this world and is invisible to us as well. So whatever that's out of this world, this is according to science here, out of this world, and a little bit of the invisible to us. From the perspective of some other perspectives. Okay, so any knowledge is going to be about these three. Would you agree? There's nothing else out there. There's a human. The world is all the animals and everything else around. What we actually spend a lot of time learning, a little bit less time on this. So now we're trying to understand more of this. And of course, this one is after we understand ourselves and can be with this world, then we can extend ourselves to understanding out of this world. But that's all there is. So that's the knowledge in here. And so when we haven't got what we want, it's because we just don't know enough about that. Yeah. So with this knowledge we have is about the same. Yeah. And that when we talk to people, when we want to share, we don't share from what we know. We share from what others know. Yeah, from what others know. So the same, when we want to know something, we need to know what we know. And if we know what we know, God, gosh, that is a huge blessing. Because if we know what we know, we now know where to start. It's only sometimes we assume that we already know. And then we're like, Say happiness. I want to be happy. Yeah, say happiness. How much do we know about happiness? If we think about it, we know very little. That's why we haven't got it yet. Yeah. If you have it, then you know it. Yeah, then you might want to sit down and understand how, when, what. Are you with me? So if we know what we know, we can start from where we know and then ask. And then get to know that which we don't know, and also the unaware knowledge where we have no idea that exists out there. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next piece of information. Is that okay? Or do you need time to, okay, I can see Jasmine nodding, so that's great. All right. So this one, okay. I would like you to, okay, from here, this one's interesting, and maybe Nancy, you might find the answers to your questions that I'm guessing that you are thinking about your parenting, because this is really, really cool to know. Okay, so let's start with know, understand, thoroughly comprehend, and transform. Let's write those first and 3 different colors, and I'm going to start with this color as for know, and then I'll take you through. What's the time? I better be mindful of the time. Yeah, know what we know. Yeah. When you know something already, then you get to understand it. Look, what's happened? I set up and then I threw them down here. Then you get to understand. When you know something well, then you will understand it. Yeah. We have understand. Then once you understand it, so you know it really well, then you can say that you thoroughly comprehend. Yeah, thoroughly comprehend. Thoroughly comprehend. Right. And then once you thoroughly comprehend it, now you can have the transformation. So you will transform. And sometimes we think it like this, but you know how much we ask our kids to change, yeah? Like hope that they'll do the right thing. And that's what we're looking for, the transformation in them. Yeah, transformation in them. But we'll talk a little bit more about that whole journey of us influencing them. But this one here is to show the journey. Okay, so you understand. Now, to know something, yeah, this is very important. To know something, they must believe in it. I want you to reflect a little bit. To know something like you, yeah? So here you're learning about this. For you to know it, you must believe that this information, there is information out there that will help you to improve the quality of your life, to feel more joy in your day. You must believe that there is, otherwise you wouldn't be looking. You wouldn't know, you wouldn't be listening. You wouldn't want to know about it. Are you with me? You need to believe, say for happiness, you need to believe that happiness is possible for you to then go and find out about it. If you don't believe that there is happiness, you just say, oh, you know what? This is life. Life is suffering. Why do I need to, I just go on with life. I just accept it as it is. You don't believe that there is. So if you do believe, then you will know. Yeah, you will. It needs to start from believing. Okay, where's my, okay, I'm going to use where's my. So to know, it must come from believe. Yeah. to understand, for you to understand something deeply, then you must know it. You gotta know it first. Yeah, you gotta know it first to then hope for you to understand it. If you don't know it, how can you understand? Yeah, so it's gotta come from the know. So if you, okay. To have a thorough understanding, a comprehension of something, that it comes from your contemplation. Yeah, and we know what contemplation is. That is thinking that same question that you think about all the time. So it's that one thing you want to have an answer for. So you must look for the answer, basically. Yeah, you must think about, you must need the answer, you must want the answer. You keep thinking about it. And where do you think, and for a transformation, where do you think, what do you think is the requirement for a transformation? If you want to know where you believe in it, you go and find it. Yeah, to know it. If you want to understand it, well, you know it, then you can understand it. Yeah. To really, really, really deeply understand it, it comes from your contemplation, which is you wanting the answer. You really want to know. Yeah, the same question repeating over time. What do you think will help you to have the transformation? You must
Realization.
the realization takes you to a deeper understanding. Yeah, your realization sits somewhere here. Yeah, it takes you to an understanding. Yeah, just like in that. Yeah, so your realization, as in your enlightenment, yeah, takes you to a deeper understanding. That's here, takes you to a deeper understanding. But for your transformation, it comes back to this, which is your desire. If you don't have something that you really want, you will not transform. How much do you want it will help you to transform. So when it comes to kids, yeah, we can force them to change their behavior. We can force them to go to school, and we've done it for decades. Yeah, centuries or decades. Yeah, force them to go to school. But if they don't want to, they go to school, they won't change. We wish to give them the maturity. Yeah, not successful with a lot of them. Are you with me? So if they want to, so if you want them to transform, and happily and joyfully, it starts from this desire. Yeah.
Isn't that the same with everybody, not just kids though? If you want to lose weight, you want to give up smoke, you want to do whatever.
That's right. They must have it.
You must want it. Yeah.
Exactly.